Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I am so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Our practice today will be focused on our upper back, shoulders, and our posture. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and roll out your mat, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. We will begin our practice in our mountain pose, our Tadasana, bringing our feet underneath of our knees, underneath of our hips. We'll pick up the toes, spread them out nice and wide, and set them down, gripping them into the earth. So we're kind of drawing the toes in towards the bottom of the foot. We'll lift the shoulders up to the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades at the back, and then draw them down. Rotate the palms forward. So we're pulling those shoulders back. We'll take a few deep breaths here, pressing into our toes. Maybe even pressing back through the back of the head. So we're stacking our ears over our shoulders. And with our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead, lifting them tall towards the ceiling. With an exhale, we'll cactus the arms, bring the elbows alongside the shoulders. We're drawing the shoulder blades into the spine and towards the center of our back. Fingers are nice and wide. With our inhale, we'll send the hands back up. And then with our next exhale, we'll hinge from the waist, bowing the chest forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. We're strong and engaged through this pose. So we're drawing the kneecaps up. We're squeezing the glutes. We're pulling the abdomen in and up, and we're lengthening from our hips all the way out through the crown of the head. With our next exhale, we'll hinge from the waist and move back to our forward fold. Now we'll take a little bit of time here to soften into this pose. Well, you can do that by finding some movement, maybe finding a sway side to side with either the arms down or with the hands crossed, grabbing for opposite elbows. We can elephant walk or pedal out the legs. You can find a slight bounce to the body or any other variation in between. To start to get used to moving our bodies, to being present in our bodies, to warming up and moving in a way that feels good. With our next in-breath, we'll move back to that halfway lift. Engaging through the body, pressing through the toes. Exhale to fold. We'll nod the head yes. And shake the head no. Allow the very top of the head to droop straight down towards the floor. We'll do the same with the arms, letting them be heavy, straight down from the shoulders. Now we'll tuck the pelvis forward as we start to lift and slowly roll our way back up towards standing. Our chin will be the very last thing that we lift up. And once we're at the top of our spine, we can find some shoulder rolls or some shrugs. And then we'll come back to our breath. With our next in-breath, send the arms up. Exhale to our cactus. This time maybe starting to find a baby back bend by pressing the chest forward and taking the eyes up. Inhale, we'll send the arms back towards the sky. Exhale to hinge from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now we'll reverse swan dive the arms, dropping them down, reaching them out, lifting up from the chest as we reach the hands to the sky. Exhale to our cactus. Now we'll keep our hands or our arms where they are, but we'll move our hands. So our shoulder blades are together. Our elbows are drawing towards the back body. And then we'll bend at the elbows a little more so we can plant our hands on our shoulders. If you notice that you have made more space between your shoulder blades when you did so, press the shoulder blades back and together again. Now we'll find a swimming motion here. We do want to keep that length across our collarbones as we do so. So we'll bring one elbow forward as we move the other towards the back body, circling them out and around. We're drawing large circles out towards the sides of our bodies with our elbows. So the elbows are moving in circular shapes as we reach them forward, down, back, and up. Moving the arms in opposite directions. And then we'll switch directions. Swimming the elbows backwards now. Still drawing big circles. Drawing those shoulder blades in long across the front of the chest. And then we'll bring both elbows out in front of the body. Tuck chin to the chest and we'll arch the back or press back through the spine. So we have distance between our shoulder blades. Now lifting the arms, lifting the eyes. We'll circle the arms out and around behind the body again, pulling those shoulder blades into center. And then we'll reach the hands back up for our cactus pose, palms out in front, fingers splayed. Inhale to send the hands up towards the sky. Exhale to hinge from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll plant the hands down in front of the feet, step, hop, or float the feet back. Moving to our plank pose. We're spreading the fingertips out nice and wide, pulling them in towards the center of the palm, so we're gripping into the earth. We'll shift a little further forward, and with our exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the floor. Untucking the toes, we'll take the hands out wider than our mat, and then up towards the top edges of our mat. So our hands are about twice our shoulders distance apart. We're tenting onto the fingertips. So the palm of the hand is lifted off the mat, is hollow from the ground. Press into the feet, press into the hips, squeeze the glutes slightly. And with our in-breath, we'll lift the trunk, lift the eyes. Exhale to soften. We'll do 2 more like this. With our in-breath, lift the upper body, reach the eyes forward. Exhale to soften back down. And one more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. We'll slide the hands in closer so they are underneath of our shoulders. We'll tuck the toes under, press up through our plank, and send the hips up and back for our down dog. We'll pedal out the legs, we'll swivel out the hips. And then we'll send our left leg up and back behind the body. Reach with the toes. Then we'll bend at the knee. We'll draw knee to nose, so starting to round through the spine, lift the leg up towards the chest as we shift forward, and step the left foot down between the hands or scooch it up between the hands. Press down through both feet. With our in-breath, we'll lift the body, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, we'll circle the arms down and around to interlock the fingers behind the back. Now, if you can't quite get the hands together there, you can grab for elbows, or you can grab for wrists, or you can grab a prop to hold on instead. We'll draw the shoulders back, draw the shoulder blades in together, long across the front of the chest. We'll find a slight lift to the chest. So slight back bend. With our exhale, we'll hinge from the waist, moving to our humble warrior. Soften the chest to the inside of our left leg. From here, we have an option to reach the hands up towards the sky, or we can keep the hands down on the low back. Draw those shoulders back. We'll press into the feet again with our inhale, lift the upper body back up, slight baby back bend. Circle the arms out and around. We'll bring them all the way around the body so they are out in front. Give us a nice big hug. We can start to walk or scooch the hands back to grab for the shoulder blades. And then with an exhale, we'll drop chin to chest and round through the spine. With our inhale, we'll start to lift back up again. Take the arms out nice and wide. We'll reach them up towards the sky. Circle them around the body towards the back of the mat, down towards the floor. And then we'll hinge from the waist. Plant the hands on either side of that left foot. We'll pick it up. Send it up and back, three-legged dog, to our down dog. Wiggle and pedal out some more here. And then we'll send our right leg up and back behind. Bend at the knee, draw knee to nose, lift it up close to the body as we shift forward. Step that right foot down. With an in-breath, we'll lift the upper body back up, send the arms towards the sky. And then we'll circle them back and around the body to grab for fingers, to grab for wrists or elbows. Draw the shoulders back, shoulder blades in together. We'll add to that hinge from the waist, moving to our humble warrior. Again, we have the option to reach the palms, reach the knuckles up towards the ceiling, or we have the option to keep them down by the low back. Draw those shoulders in. With our next in-breath, we'll lift the body back up again. Bring the arms out and around. We'll try and put the opposite arm on top this time from before, so it'll feel a little more awkward. We'll walk those fingers in. Drop chin to chest and round and roll through the spine. Inhale to lift back up. Extend the arms out wide. We'll send them up. Circle them to the back of the mat, down towards the floor. Bring them down to frame out our front foot. We'll pick it up, send it up and back, and then down for our down dog. Pedal out the legs, swivel out the hips. We'll shift forward to our plank pose, pressing into the earth. We'll shift a little further forward, and with our exhale, lower the rest of the way down to the mat. Now we'll bring our left hand out in front of the body and over towards the right side of the mat, palm up towards the sky. We'll do the opposite with the right hand, taking it over towards the left side of our mat. Both palms are up. So we're drawing the shoulder blades away from each other at this point. And then we're going to let the head, the chest, the whole of the body be soft towards the floor. If you don't quite feel anything in this stretch, try readjusting. Bring the arms in closer towards the body and then press down towards the earth. Now pressing into the tops of the feet, press into the hips. We're going to press back through the back of the head, which will squish the front of the neck slightly. You might start to feel some activation in the mid to low back when we do this. And we'll take a few deep breaths here. And then we'll roll towards our right side to bring our right hand back towards the right side of our mat. Scooch the left arm forward slightly, and we'll thread the right arm back over towards the left side of the mat, but this time our right hand is behind the left arm. We'll again soften down towards the earth. Let the head be heavy. Let the shoulder blades fall away from each other. And to find a big stretch along the sides of the shoulders. Now again, we'll press back through the back of the head. So we're lifting the head off of our stack, pressing back. And then we'll start to roll towards our left side. So we can bring our left arm around. We'll move to our Sphinx pose from here. The elbows are in close towards the rib cage. The palms are down towards the mat. We're pressing into our hands, pressing into our hips, the tops of the feet, and we're lifting tall through the top of the head. You can even press back slightly through the back of the head, again to find that mid-back engagement. And then we'll again slide the hands in underneath of the shoulders. Press into the hands. And then send the hips up and back, down dog. We'll wiggle out and play around some more in this pose. And then we'll slide the hands about a hand's distance closer towards the feet. We'll take the feet a little further apart, bend to the knees, press up and back through the hips. So we want a long line of energy from our fingertips. We want a long spine, long back, all the way out. We'll start to shift further forward so the shoulders come over the wrists. We'll bend the knees to hover them over the mat, finding our floating tabletop pose. Engaging through the core, pressing the hands into the earth. And then we'll drop the knees the rest of the way down, untuck the toes. With an in-breath, we'll shine the chest forward, lift the hips, lift the eyes. With our exhale, we'll curl in towards center, arching up through the mid-back. Moving back and forth with our breath. And we'll come back to our tabletop. From here, we'll start to move to our puppy pose. So keep in mind, this can be a really big stretch. So the farther your hands are away from your knees, the bigger the stretch will be. So you can start to walk your hands out. And then we'll bring the center of our chest, our heart center, down towards the mat. Now, keeping your hips straight up towards the ceiling will give you a big stretch. And that's where those hands distance comes in. If that is too big of a stretch, don't press the hands as far away from the body. And you can press the hips back slightly. So it is more of an extended child's pose at that point. But that can make the pose much more accessible. Now we can lower the chest and the chin towards the floor, or if that is too big of a stretch, bring your forehead to the floor instead, or try bending at the elbows and bring the hands into opposite arms. Start to press into the hands, walk the hands in towards the body, all the way back until we are seated on our legs, seated on our heels. And we'll reach up tall through the top of the head. Taking a few deep breaths here. Now we'll bring our pointer and middle fingers, our peace sign fingers, to our chin. And we're gently going to press into the chin. So the back of our head is pressing towards the back body. We're giving ourselves a nice squishy neck or multiple chins across the front of our neck. And then our non-dominant hand will come to the back of the head. So we first have that backward motion, and then we'll start to round by bringing the chin to the chest. We can find little adjustments here to find the right area of the upper back of the shoulders to stretch. Now we'll remove the added pressure of both hands before we start to lift the eyes forward again. And then we'll walk forward to our tabletop. Now we're going to find some scapular push-ups, or now we're going to find some scapular push-ups. And now we're going to find some scapular push-ups here. So we'll start by dropping the chest towards the floor. We're pressing up through our shoulders, hollowing out the space between our shoulder blades. And then we'll press into the earth, press up through that mid-back, through the spine, and taking the shoulder blades as far apart as we can. Now softening again, bringing the shoulder blades in closer together as we lower the chest towards the floor. Pressing into the earth, finding more space between the shoulder blades. And we'll move back and forth at a pace that feels right to you. And we'll come back to our tabletop. Walking the hands a little bit further out in front of the shoulders. We'll tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the mat, shift a little further forward, chaturanga all the way down to the floor. We'll take the hands up and out, past the shoulders, past the top of our mat, press into the tops of the feet, squeeze the glutes. Inhale to lift the upper body, lift the chest, lift the eyes. Exhale to lower. We'll do two more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. We'll bring the hands in closer so they're underneath of the shoulder blades. But this time we're going to try not to use the hands at all. Press into the tops of the feet, squeeze the glutes, press into the hips, lift the hands, lift the eyes, lift the trunk. If your feet start to lift too, that's okay, or you can press them down. And then we'll lower back down again. Now bring your left hand over towards the right side of your mat. Palm is up. We'll bring our right hand on top of our left arm. Slide the right knee up towards the hands, out towards the outer edge of our mat. From here, we'll open that right hand up towards the sky, reach it up and over the body, towards the left side of our mat for a gentle twist. Roll back through center, bringing that right hand all the way around. Now sliding our right leg back alongside our left. We'll press into the earth and move to our Sphinx pose. So the elbows are in nice and close to the rib cage. We're pressing into the palms, lifting long through the top of the head. And then we'll move to the other side, bringing the right hands over towards the left side of the mat. Palm is up. We'll stack our left hand on top. Bring the left knee in towards the hands. And then we'll open our left arm up over the body towards the right side of our mat for a gentle twist on this side. With our exhale, we'll roll back through center again. Sphinx pose one more time. Lengthen that left leg back. Bring the elbows in, press through the palms, tall and long through the spine. We'll slide the hands in closer towards the body, underneath of the shoulders. Press into the toes, lift up through our plank. Send the hips up and back for our down dog. We'll drop the knees to the earth. From here, moving back to our puppy pose. So we can soften the chest towards the earth here with our hips a little further back, or we can slide the hands further forward and lower the chest towards the floor. We'll press into the hands. Walk the hands in towards the body, all the way in until we're seated on the legs again. Lifting tall through the spine. We'll drop our left hand down to the floor beside us and reach our right hand up and over for a side stretch. Press the right hip towards the right side of the mat. With our inhale, we'll come back up through center. Drop the right hand down, reach the left up and over. Inhale back through center. We'll bring hands to heart center, or leave the palms up and open on our legs. Closing the eyes. We'll take a few deep breaths here to close out our practice today. Maybe allowing the next few exhales to be a little bit longer than our inhales. Maybe allowing the shoulders to drop a little further away from the ears. We'll bring another large breath in through the nose and take a few more sips of air at the top before letting it go as an open mouth sigh. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.